All right, we are in the Panhellinic Games. Playdemic's version of the Olympics. There we go. On my 77 account, we're in Ricky today's Monday's qualifying round. I'm going to try and qualify today. I'm just going to go out there and play. I'm not going to do anything special. I have no freaking clue what I should be doing on some of the shots, but on the drives, I'm just going to try and put myself in the right spot and go for it. There are some of the holes I might go for it, and I might not end up qualifying today, but I'm gonna just go out and play. That's the deal. Hole number uno. Hole number uno. And I am definitely trying to go this direction. I played my 99 account earlier, and the wind was blowing like this, so we do have the opportunity to get out into this area with a 3-power ball. And try and get myself over. We'll see. We shall see. I'm going to take my Uno bag. Oh, wait a second. I changed something in that bag on a shot that I was doing that I then turned around and timed out on. I timed out and then I made it. Is that what the deal was? I think that's what I did. I think. I'm going to bring my thorn. I needed the extra something. Why did I bring that? Extra topspin. And I'm glad I did, because the 60 would not have been enough. The 80 was barely enough. I'm going to bring a Titan. I'm going to try and play as many holes as possible with a Titan. I think there's maybe hole number 9. And they're like the par 3s. I don't need to bring out a Titan, but I don't think there's anything you need to bring out anything special. If you've got like mid-level or upper developed clubs, you don't really need, other than hole number 9, I don't think that we really need anything special. And hole number 9, side spin's king. Like having a 10 side spin ball. I'm trying to get my vocabulary right. I was about to say a 5, but a 10 side spin ball. The wind will push me up. Now, I wish I could really get up there and see how much topspin I need. There's 5. Trying to look at where it's going out up there. Okay, I think. Okay, the wind's blowing that direction. So if I'm in this area, it's blowing me kind of along that rough line. So I'm going to go right there. That pushes me out into the fairway. Not a lot of curl. One ring great to the right. That might not kill me. There we have it. And it's kind of a crapshoot when you're going over there. That was with 5 topspin. The inclination is to do a lot of curl, and 2 things can happen when you're doing a lot of curl. Number 1, if you hit it wrong, you can end up caught in these trees. And number 2, there's a lamp post right off the green, right off the tee box on the left-hand side. When they pan back, keep your eye out for it. I'll try and circle it when it comes back through, and you can tag that flagpole right there. Where they're going through those trees, see this red tree and the yellow tree right here? There's a split right in between them. That's typically like if you bring out the right stuff so that you can go over there. That's kind of the area that you're looking at. I think they went too far. And they're out in the trees. And I said during my scouting report, like, you're going to have days where you end up behind the trees, and what you do is you get on the green, or wherever it will let you, and you move along, little doggy. You get your birdie and you move on. Don't be a hero. Oh, that'll miss. I think I was too far away to be hitting it great. Excellent. Excellent. That means the wind didn't play that big of a factor, and I hit it great to the left, and I was set up for the wind to push me back over, and evidently the wind did not push me back over, and the grate to the left went in. Now, you will sometimes get in the trees where you still have a great shot to get onto the cup, to go at the cup. But if that's not the case, take your lumps and move along. Now, they were in a good spot because I set them up so that they didn't have to make it. There we go. There we go. I like those types of par fours. Anytime you have a par four where you can get on one, you got to go for it. And you can see right there, I only did 5 topspin, so you could do that with an extra mile. 7, it's only got 5. Now, you are 6 yards short in distance, so you might have to bring out a power 4 ball. But it is possible. It is. This is the whole deal, is if you have low-level or mid-level clubs, there's a lot of times where, like, you need more curl or you need more stuff. You could bring out a bigger side spin ball, so you could make up for some of the curl that you don't have, or you need more distance. So you could bring out a 5 power ball instead of a 3 power ball. You see somebody with upper developed clubs and they're doing it with a 3 power ball, and you're like, well, yeah, but you got upper developed clubs. Well, you got to bring out a 4 power ball. That's why they sell them. Don't blame me. Don't blame people that's just the deal. They used to not have them. So like that was a big issue, but now they have a ball for just about everything. And so you can take on a lot of holes. There are some holes, I will grant you, there are some holes that you're like using everything that you have, even if you got upper developed stuff. But most of these holes, it's just a little bit of a tweak here and there, or it's a little bit more curl, or it's a little bit more raw power, and you can make that up with a ball. You can bring out a 10 side spin ball and a 10 power ball. Hole number 2. This hole right here, I don't care what kind of clubs you have. This hole is dangerous as hell. I hit the flagpole in my 99 account, and the only thing that saved me from going into the sand was that I hit the flagpole. And I put on like 1 backspin. Just where I hit it right in this area, it caught it and it rolled out. I really always feel like over here and just put a little bit of, like just to try and lay it up. Not even go for it. Not even go for the hole-in-one. Just lay it up. I have made hole-in-ones on this hole, but I've also ended up in the sand back here. And I would think, just sitting here thinking about it, I think I've ended up in the sand more times than I made a hole-in-one. I have made a few hole-in-ones on here, and there is an opportunity to make a hole-in-one, but there is a bunch of opportunities to get in trouble. I'm going to try it from over here and just see what it looks like, because I know in the past I've tried to do this, and there is a rough bump over there too. I don't think I need to bring a big ball, but I want a 3 side spin ball. And I'm almost positive there's at least a 10% adjustment here. Possibly a bigger adjustment than that. Probably helpful to plug my phone in, since it's yelling at me that it wants attention. Hopefully I've already had fun in the 18-hole cup. It was different. I started off really good, and I don't know if I fell apart in the back. I couldn't hit anything perfect. Nothing was working. I think I was getting tired. It was just a combination of things, but obviously it was whatever my gameplay was. I can make any excuse that I want, but I didn't succeed on the back. I did great on the front. I'm going to come up here and put 3 backspin on it. I'm going to put a little less than 3, like 2.5. I'm going to leave it a little short because I think it does roll out. 6. And I don't know where I'm at in my club. I'm going to count it as times 6, 6.9 rings. Probably should turn my grid on. That might help. There's 5, 6, 9. Hitting it perfect. Ooh, I'm going too fast. And I did a 15% there, and it looked like I maybe needed to do a 20. I did pretty much the same shot my opponent's doing in my 99 account from that same spot. I was 2.5, 2 3/4 rings off, and I did a 15% in that account. And like I said, I was going about 1,000,000 miles an hour with one backspin. So we'll see if it responds the same. That area is really, these areas on this course are really weird because there's just so many spots that have the little moguls. Like if you hit one spot in the mogul, you'll get a run, and if you hit another spot, you get a higher bounce, and hit one and it throws you to the left. And this hole is dangerous. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. And I backed off of that backspin just a little and pushed it up a little closer to the cup, and I think I should have left the more backspin on because it does run out. Like the ball doesn't hit and then just stop it. It doesn't look like, it looks like when you're looking at it, it looks like it's going uphill and here's the cup, and then it would actually slow down and kind of terminate at the cup. But even though it gives you that optical illusion that it's uphill, for whatever reason it wants to go faster up the hill. It's like it's picking up speed. Hole number 3. What is hole number 3? I think this is one of my favorite par 5s in the game. It is. And I do believe it is -5 to the cup. And where I'd like to get is just anywhere in this range is good. If you can get up into that shadow, into that clear spot between those shadows, you're fine. But even if you can just get right to where the lamppost is putting its shadow off, anything in front of that is good. The problem is that if you're in front of it and you're out in here, the farther up you get up into the chute, because you can really, if you bring out the right stuff, you can end up way up there. The deal is that now you're forced to have to come in at it and use the slope of the hill. Whereas if you're down in this area, your angle, when you're coming up to the cup, you can stay in this lower section where you can kind of try and straighten your shot out, and you're not so dependent upon the slope, because it's kind of hard to get the slope stuff right, because it's all speed dependent. Like you could make a perfect adjustment, perfect wind adjustment, ball guide's perfect, but if you hit it a little too fast, it'll fly through the break. If you hit it a little too slow, it breaks too fast. I really want to be in this area. That's kind of the deal. I feel like playing this with my extra mile, but I'm not going to. I've played this hole so many times with my extra mile that with the extra mile you can do max curl, and with the APOC you don't want to do max curl. It's too much. All right, here we go. -5 to the cup. And I'm not sure what Tommy's site said right there, but I'm pretty sure on the drive I've done at least like a +10, at least. So there is a window over here, and I like to pinch myself up in that. I'm not going to put all the topspin on. I'm going to put on 5. Maybe 6. No, I want 6. I want 6 and a little. 5.7 divided by 1.2 is 522. Here's 522 exactly. There's max curl, and I want to come off of that and do about that much curl. Oh, and then I hit it 7,000 rings great to the left. Jeez. I thought it was going to hit right there. I don't know how I made that. There is a blade of grass down there that is crying. It's screaming like, oh my gosh, he hit me so hard. Yeah, there's a piece of fairway grass that's out there, or rough grass, that was, I hit it. That was way too close. It's especially on a shot where you're not doing any overpower. One of the benefits of not doing any overpower is you don't do that kind of crap. And then to do that kind of crap, geez, 0.95 times the wind. And it seems to me that the 0.95 is not quite right. It's like 0.95 times the wind, 5.8 divided by, I think I'm in max club. Oh, there's max. There's min. I'm at mid club, so it's 1.1. It's 5 rings. It seems like there was like a +1, or you hit it at max even though you're not. Down here you can go, see how I'm going at it? And watch my opponent when they set their shot up, because they're going to have to hit the hill. Hey, here where I want you. 5 rings, exactly. Perfect. Perfecto. Man, I got a good high bounce right there. That spot, that first bounce was super high. That's not, I could have tightened that up a little. Left it a little bit in front. Let it roll out. But you can see how straight my ball guide was. I don't think they're going to be able to get there, so. And they got a guardian. The guardian's helping them out with the raw distance, but I don't think they'll be able to make it. Well, with that wind, they might. There you go. There you go. Nice. Nice. That'll work, my friend. That will work. There are benefits to playing with a guardian, especially in one-on-one. There are benefits to playing with a guardian, but there's so many shots now that we're taking with our wood. The greens used to be set up, a lot of the greens, that if you had a backspin club, you had the advantage. But they've redesigned, especially some of the older holes, they've redesigned some of those older holes. And the newer holes, it is nice to have the ball guide of a sniper. There's a lot more rough bumps in the game than there was originally. I don't even remember hearing the word or doing any kind of stuff like that. There's a bunch of holes now that I only do rough bumps on to the cup. But like for the first year and a half that the game was out, like nobody did rough bumps. I think what had happened is we'd hit the rough enough times where we made bad pulls that we realized that, wow, if we aimed it at the rough. I actually saw Tommy do a rough bump on a hole. I can remember the hole, but I can't remember what course it's in or what it's on. But I remember seeing him do that, and I was like, wow. And then start looking for it. And I've got a couple teammates that like they do rough bumps every single time they can. They don't care whether it's an I or a T or a Y rough bump. If it's a rough bump, they're doing it. All right. I am going to get that hole this week. I like that hole. There is a great opportunity on that hole to pick up an Albie, especially if you're down in this area. And I'm sure that all of you have either done it or you have seen somebody do it, where when you're out here, people are trying, even if they're in the same spot that I'm at, they're setting their shot up here and they're using that hill to drop it down. But if you're in the right spot here where you've got the angle like this, you can start off in the bottom and really try and go pretty straight. You still got to put a little bit of spin on it to get it to the cup, but it's nothing like you have to do when you're up here. Try it out. All right. I'm doing the rough bump here. And it seemed like earlier, what did I do earlier? I was at mid club. And I did a 10%. And I overpulled it. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So I did a 1-to-1. And here I'm going to do whatever the wind is divided. I'm going to just do what I have it so that I can see where I'm at. So I'm going to just do the wind divided by 1.1. And I'm pretty sure that I can take this. It is a sniper. And I'm pretty sure I can get there with a katana. And I'm pretty sure I'm at mid-club. I'm going to verify that, but I think I'm at mid-club, so it's going to be whatever the wind is divided by 1.1. And I think what I did on my other account is I did the wind. I pulled at max even though I was at mid-club. In the rough area, I'm going to be very cognizant of where I land. Here's the rough area, and I'm going to try and start off from dead center in the middle. And so we want to watch to see where that first bounce is. There's min. There's max. So there's mid. I am pretty close to mid. Right here on the top. Put max side spin on. I want to terminate right at the cup. And get dead center mid of that. 5.1 divided by 1.1 is 4.63 rings. There's 463 exactly. Hitting it perfect. Perfecto. Let's see where it hits. And that hit right about where I was aiming. And it was a slight bit of an underpull, but like 10% was too much. Would it be too much? So like mid club plus 5, or what would that have been? 1.05 times the wind. That would have been 486 instead of 463. 7383. So that would have been 2.5, and that's probably pretty close. Pretty close. Maybe 5%. I'll try that next time. I'm going to do 5% at mid. And my opponent barely hit the rough. Barely. And that was an overpull on their part. In the hole. We got a great opportunity for hole-in-one here if you're doing that rough bump. In my opinion, that's the best way to try and get the hole-in-one, but there's always danger involved when you're doing a rough bump. Now my tablet needs power. And I just so happen to have 2 power cords here, so let me hook my phone up since I unplugged it. Get my calculator in the right direction. Okay, what do we got? What do we have here? Hole number 5. Hole number 5. All right, I really want to get to this area. I was thinking, when I did the walkthrough video, I was talking about going over from here and going over, but that's from the Pro Tees. I played this hole so many times from the Pro Tees, and you have to hit from over here. But in Ricky, you can start off on this side. I am going to start off from this side. I'll bring out a 3 power ball so I can start off on this side. You have to bring out a 3 power ball. If you're using a maxed out extra mile or an APOC, you've got a little bit of room right there. If you've got a lower extra mile, you're going to have a very small little window. So if we have a headwind day, it could throw you off. And with my lower level account, I could get to that spot with a 3 power ball. But like I said, on a headwind day, I'd have to either bring out a 4 power ball, or now I have to start doing overpower. So what I did was I started off over here with my big topper. And I think I put 6 topspin on it. And I ended up right here, and I really want to get to that spot right there, that little hole in the ground. You can be right on the lip of that, that's okay, but like if you're in it, that's perfect. And the reason that I like that spot is because, look at the green here. I'll draw the lines and then I'll erase them and I'll draw them back. You can see that there's little valleys right here, so it's going down the hill, and it's kind of, this side is a little flatter, but it's still kind of going down the hill, and the cup terminates right at the end of that valley. I'll erase it. You can see it. Do you see it? See the little Y there? And so if we draw a line through that and I'll get my pen working. If we draw a line through that, and we come over to the other side, oh yeah, try and draw it straight, not draw it. I'm trying to draw it straight, not just to my pocket. If you're in this pocket, you're almost on a straight line to it. It takes very little spin in order to get you to the cut. But if you're back here, now you're coming in and out on the hill. Now you can set it down in the bottom and then put spin on it to bring it back, but it's not quite as good. It just doesn't want to run quite as good as it does when you're right here. So that is the goal, is to get to right there. And I have no idea what it takes. It could be backspin or one topspin, but it doesn't take much. We shall see. I'm going to take a Titan because it is the king of balls. That's right, you heard it here. You can't get it done with a Titan. You just can't get it done. Let's back up here. I am torn on what to do to the cup. I cannot remember, but there is a great shot. Which time I say? Yeah, I was thinking it's 10% to the cup, but it seems like it's 10% plus 0.1 or something. And I definitely want to start off on the left-hand edge of the cup, or right outside of the left-hand edge of the cup, if I can get to the right spot. This is definitely one shot at a time. You got to get you have to stick it up there without getting in the sand, and it wants to, it wants to roll out and go and put you in the sand for sure. It wants to pick up the slide. We'll see what kind of spin we got to put on it. And the winds are 50% higher, so if we've got a tailwind day or a headwind day, like you can see how much of a window I have here. I've got 3 rings, so I've got like, I'm going to pull it back to the plus 12 mark. And I am going to put like a half a topspin, a sliver of topspin. That's not even half a topspin. 6.8, 6.23 rings. There's 6.23. Hitting it perfect. Right in the bowl. Right in the bowl. Just a sliver of topspin. It probably would have been. I really don't like doing shots with no spin at all because I don't trust it, because it seems like if you have no spin on there, it wants to go. My opponent might have the right idea to bring out a big ass, like bring out a 5-power ball with topspin boost and try and bounce off the little island and get over there. That might be the way. That's risky though, because you know what that water is? It's OB, baby. That might be there. That is there. Look at that. Nice. Nice shot. That took some big cojones. 1.1 times 6.6 divided by, where am I at? There's min. There's max. I'm eking min club right here. And min club is, what is my min club? I think it's 3.5. 3.5. Right there. 2.01 rings. It's 2.07. I'm going to do 2.1. Oh, fuck. Perfect. Would have been in the hole. No doubt. I have no doubt about that. Yeah, that was crash and burn right there. Crash and burn. Gotta hit that perfect. All that effort to get to the right spot and not hit it perfect. My opponent showed you a way to go that I haven't gone that way. I think you'd have an easier time of that if you brought out a big power topspin boost ball, or a bigger power ball, and possibly a bigger power ball with topspin boost to get over there. They did get a little lucky on the bounce that came through, this first bounce that hit right here, because on this spot it's like this. Here's the water and it comes up and it's super steep, and they hit it right here and it had a high bounce and it killed their forward momentum. But just a little teeny bit in front of that, if they'd hit right up here at the top, they would have carried their speed, and then they would have definitely ended up in the rough. That was a great shot, and then they had a little bit of luck. The thing about that kind of shot is replicating it. And look at all of this blue stuff. This is called water, agua. Okay. And it is OB. So if you're going to do that shot, you definitely want to make sure you're thinking of it right. If you could, they had a 3 power ball with their max over power. A 5 power ball would have got them in a very similar situation, where you could set it up with a 5 power ball. Now that works great on a tailwind or a pure sidewind day, but on a headwind day, that's going to be a little bit of an issue. Then you're going to have to start winging it again. That might not be a shot to have. That would be a shot to have in your bag, just for those days that you do have tailwind or pure sidewind, so that you could do that shot. And then on headwind days, you could do the layup shot. You could just try and get it into the pocket and do this shot right here on a headwind day. You still get a great shot, but having that shot in your bag, that might be worth it. Do I get any practice tokens? I do. I can't practice that hole. I already played it. And who knows what the wind will be in the thing. I would like to see what that would look like with tailwind with a 5 power ball. Hole number 6. I'm going for all the way up into the front here. Now I've tried in my 77, in my 99 account, I tried the rough bump that's underneath of the tree, and I over pulled it. And I did just a straight up wind adjustment. I think I should have taken a little bit of wind off of it. I over pulled it and I ended up in the sand. I either ended up in the sand, or I clipped the tree, or I over pulled. I did something. But if I can get to the right spot, I'm going to try that shot again. But this time I'm going to take some wind off of it. I'm not going to pull as much. I was definitely at max club, but I'm going to do more like I'm at mid. And on the drive, I have traditionally always done 10%. And I'm going to take a 3 side spin ball just so that I have one. And I'm going to have to buy some Kingmakers. That sucks. Select. All right, there we go. I got some. Blowing through the gems. I need to go back and start playing this account a little bit so I can refill my gem stuff. You definitely don't. I open up. There's no sense in my opinion. There's like, if you're going to play, you're playing for chests. You gotta go out there and play for chests. I think we tried out here where we were bringing out a bigger ball. Now that I'm sitting here looking at it, it seems like Dunner and I came out here one day and we were trying to get into this area and actually try and use a topspin boost ball to get all the way over. And I'm not sure that we had any success. I think we were always short. You could recover from over there if you got to the other side. And I think maybe once we got over to the right spot, but they got the angle. Two rings off. Max top spin. Max top spin. 5.7 divided by 1.2. 5.22 rings. I'm going to push it out. Since I'm here, we'll count that as the 2-2. And we'll push out the 5. And I was leaning to the left just a little bit on purpose. I was rubbing the nubs It seems like when the ball comes out here, it wants to drift to the right, so. Now where I was at with my 77 account was I was where my opponent is, and I was doing the shot right here through the trees, and it's the same shot I'm going to try right here, right through the trees, and do the rough bump right through here. Now there is a rough bump on this side, and I'm in the perfect spot for it, but here you're caught up in the backboard, and it's really kind of difficult. This shot that's in between the trees is dangerous as hell, but it is a look. And that's the other way you can go at it, is you can try and do exactly what my opponent's doing right there. I don't think they pulled it enough. We'll see. If they hit the backboard and it ends up going past the cup, they didn't pull it enough. I'm going to try that rough bump. Again, we'll see how it goes. Let's have a little bit of fun. Come on. After the beating that I took yesterday, I need some fun. There's max. There's mid. I'm at mid club. Look at how narrow that is. Jeez. That means if you don't make an absolutely pure wind adjustment, if your wind adjustment's not absolutely perfect, you are screwed. 5.1 divided by 1.1, 4.17 rings. There's 3,417. Oh, and I'm going to hit the tree. That was 2 rings. Oh man, I can't believe I made it through. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't believe a 2-ring great to the left didn't tag that tree. That is super dangerous. Super. The other side, like my opponent did the shot where it was straight up on the fairway, but you could have pushed forward from right there, and there is a rough up on that side, and it's a whole lot safer. You're caught up in that backboard, and the only way that you can actually kind of go straight at the cup is the shot that I did. And I'm not recommending you do it. I didn't do that to test the theory, but that was way off. But luckily we're super close. All right. What do we got here? What do we have for hole number 7? We do have a tailwind. Not much of a tailwind, but we do have a tailwind. This is the only hole I'm going to bring out a power 5 ball. Let's get where we can see it. I'm going to start off right off in this area right here, and I'm going to try and go. I'm trying to end up right there. And it doesn't take, man, a bigger side spin ball helps, because then you don't have to put any curl on it. And this is a shot you definitely want to have set up, and you don't want to have any, you want to cut out as many variables as possible. And anytime you add the word curl to your shot, that is a huge ass variable. That is a big question mark. You can clip this rough and end up right here, and you still get a great shot, but I really would just rather end up right there. And if you get too much and you end up on the green up here, you are in big ass trouble. Let's see what I have for 5 power balls. Do I have a 5 power ball that's got more side spin? And I don't want to waste any of my 0 wind balls. There is one hole in the game that having a 0 wind ball, 10 power is, you need, especially on tailwind days, you need all the help you can get. On a headwind day, you need to bring, I have the top spin boost balls for those days. I have 1 of these balls. 1. And that does give me 3 side spin. The Euro ball, I'm going to bring that. just so I can try and give myself the good college try to demo it for you. It seems like this is another one of those holes. It seems like I've always done 10% on the drive. Here we go. Especially the way the wind's blowing here, it would be better to, it's better if you can hit it absolutely perfect, but here you definitely don't want to underpull it. We'll see. I think with the, I can't remember, but I think with a 5-power ball, there's a window there and I don't have to do overpower, but we'll see. I think I may still have to do overpower. Now they got a 5-power ball. Yeah, you still got to do some overpower. You're right there. What are they using? They're using the APOC. I didn't see what level it was. I don't think you have to do all the massive curl. Maybe I'm wrong. That was max curl, for sure. And they definitely over curled the hell out of that. And they barely hit the fairway on that first shot. So we're in this area. Let's put all the side spin on, a couple top spin. Let's see where we're at. That is kind of where we want to end up right there. I don't think I need all that top spin. I think I only need one. We need to be forward about a ring. So 7. It is 6.41 rings. There's 6.5. I'm going to push one ring of it back on. Hitting it perfect. Right there. That was very little. What was that, one top spin? And that was, 2 might have been a little better, or 1.5. You don't want to get on the green. I'm telling you that right now. You do not want to get on the green over there because it's brutal. I mean, you can see what they're going through, and they're not even, it's from that direction over there, it is brutal. Where I'm at, it's still going to be a shot. There's still going to be a little bit of movement to it, I believe, but you do not want to be on the green. Close. Close. Let's see if I can run on my top spin. Hitting it perfect. Whew, and I barely made it in the hole. Barely. From that distance, typically wind is not a factor, and the wind there definitely pushed me over. I started off on the flagpoles here, and I started off on this side of the flagpole, and it definitely pushed me all the way over to this edge of the cup. Almost a miss from that close. This is the thing about this hole. This hole is, you can put yourself in the right spot to get an eagle on this hole, but this hole is the second shot. It's definitely two shots, one shot at a time. But the second shot, even if you're close like that, it is not a gimme. This hole right here, you got to be excited when you get an eagle on it. All right, hole number 8. Hole number 8. What do we have? The last par 3. And I totally shanked this earlier, and I ended up rolling down the hill with my account and ended up here. And My opponent ended up down there as well. We both had low level clubs, so I turned it around and hit it back to the tee box, hoping that they were going to miss so I could try it again, and they made it. They were probably wondering what the hell I was doing, but I at least I was trying to see if I could do it, because you're going to be you're not going to be on the tee, but you're still going to be in long iron. I'm going to do a 10%. It seems like I need to do more than a 10, but I'm going to do a 10. It might be a minus. I know that there is an adjustment here. Man, I just don't like that plus 10. I don't think it is, but I'm going to try it. I'll try it. I think I can take this with just a normal mortal ball. I'm going to take it with I better bring a quasar just in case. And if we find out we're not using more than one bar of side spin, then we could switch it to a navigator. For some reason, I think I'm in mid club. In which case it would be just the wind. And my opponent's not messing around with it. They're getting right up on it. And that might be a good way to go too, because this is one of those holes that breaks right at the very end. What I don't like about their shot is how close they've put that rough over there in play. Sorry about that. Perfect. Seemed like they pulled that in the hole. They pulled it right in the hole. That's what they did. That is what they did right there. Whatever they did, go back and retro whatever their shot was. That was nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. See, if you hit over here, you're dealing with that hill. Hey, quit doing that to me. 5-1. I didn't check to see where I was in my club. Damn it. 5-6-1. There's 5-6-1. Hitting it perfect. Ooh, just a slight overpull. And good game. Good game, my man. Good game. Getting the eagle on the hole-in-one. All right, hole number 9. Let me think strongly here. Okay, let's go look at hole number 9. First of all, if I can help it, I'm not saying that it'll never happen, because if you watch me play this hole in one-on-one, you'll see it happen where I hit over here, and I'm not a real big fan of it. If I can, I will try and just drive it as far as I can out here and get here, because I know I can recover there with my Nirvana, and it's pretty easy. Anywhere from over here, you can, if you got a maxed out Nirvana, you can recover. Now, if you have a big ass headwind, you're playing a one-on-one where you had a tailwind on the first drive, and then you got a headwind. You know, it's the wind swirling around while you're out there playing golf. This is called Tornado. They just had a movie, Twisters. It's about that. That's because that's always the best time to go play golf. I will try not to ever demo a shot from over here. I will try. You may see me play it one-on-one, but I'm not demoing it for a tournament. I'm not a fan. You can hit through the trees and you can get over there, but it's tough to get here, and then you got to hit through the trees. Okay. I'm going to try and get, okay, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get down here to the very end. I'm not trying to get over to the other side. I'm trying to get right to the very end. And this is best served with a ball that's got as much side spin as you can possibly get. And I don't have a big selection, I don't think, of side spin balls. I do have I'm not going to waste my last precision ball here messing around. This ball right here is not bad. I do have 24 of those in stock. I got 33 of these in stock and it has no wind. I think I'm going to take this ball because I'm not afraid to work the wind out. And with this kind of wind, it can happen. It can. 1.1 times the wind. Times the wind divided by 1.2. I get my equation worked out. Make sure I got my number uno bag. All right, that is the stuff. Here we go. Side spin helps. Curl helps. There is a max overpower hook shot you can do here, and you can, if you hit it just right, get the same exact result with the max overpower hook. But there is a max curl, max side spin. And on a headwind day, you'd have to bring out an 8 or a 10 power ball. Man, it seems so weird saying an 8 or a 10 power ball when I used to joke around like, hey man, they got 10 power balls for sale. Yeah, we're going to have to use a little wind. Yeah, you need a 5 power ball. Really want to be like right there. Let's put it all on. Put it all on. I really want to be about right there. That's where I want to be. 6.8, 6.23 rings. There's 623. I'm going to put 2 rings of that power back in. And 1 ring grate on the inside. Did I get it? Did I get it? Not quite. And the 1 ring grate on the inside helped me. If I hadn't hit the 1 ring grate on the inside, it would have definitely been worse. I was giving myself a lot of room there, and the reason I was giving myself a lot of room on that pad is because it rolls off. It's kind of like this area right here, and it rolls off on the edge, and I was thinking of like where it's flat as the green, even though the fairway extends beyond that before it gets to the rough. It's all rolling off the hill, and I did not want to. If you hit it right on that edge, you can get a launch to go over, but you risk, man, it is risky to hit it right on that spot. That one ring grate to the right was almost at the right spot, just a little teeny bit more to the right, and it would have really launched. That is the thing about hitting over there, is that is a 100% pure layup shot, and even if they were in the fairway, they'd be behind the tree. I got a serious shot right here for Albie. There's mid. There's 3/4. And it is 1.1 times 8.2 divided by 2. It's 4.51 rings. Can I get down there? I can. 4, 5. So close to a perfect, but if you're going to hit it great, that was the side to hit it on. And it's so close. So close. That was the Albie shot right there. I have made some Albies on this from that side. You do have a shot at it. And the thing is that those topspin boost balls, I mean, that is a whole new experience for the game. And I think I said in my walkthrough, my scouting report, that if you find yourself over there, don't force the issue. Do exactly what my opponent is doing. You can go over there and you can at least put yourself back in the fairway so that you have a straight up shot at it to try and recover. I mean, you're still having to hit it from distance, but at least you got a shot from right there. And that's probably a short iron shot. So you're at least in a really good club. And on that side from distance, I have in the past done a 10%. There was an adjustment. I'm not sure it was 10, but I think it might have been just a little bit more, but there's definitely an adjustment from over there. I'm going to have to go back and find the last time we played this hole, because I was over there and I did make a couple albies the last time we played this hole from over there, and see what adjustment I was using. You can look to see what the last tournament was that we played these in and pull up odd for that, and I'm sure I got video on it. For sure. I've got like 5,000 videos out there. And only here in the last couple of years, what I used to do is I would play hole number 9, and then I would stop the video and I would upload one video for every hole. That way, if you were looking for hole number 6, you could just go get hole number 6. That's the one you were looking for. And then I took like 6 months off, and then when I came back, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to shoot videos. You should let me know whether you'd like me to do one video, per hole, because I don't mind doing that. All right, there you go. That was with no practice, no notes, no nothing. Just going out there and firing it off. And there's a bunch of stuff out there that was still on the table. There's a couple of those. The last par 3 has been hit or miss with me. I've made some hole-in-ones on it, but it's not like, for some reason, it's one of those gopher holes for me. It seems like, and partially it's because of the way I'm coming at it. And let's go look at that hole. Like, I like this hole if you're going out here. Even if I'm just hitting right here, you still got a Nirvana shot. So from right here, I had a 3/4 Nirvana shot, and so here my max would be right about in there, and then you can just get up on the green. So if you got a Nirvana, this isn't a bad area. If you have an Amazon, you can start off on this and just drive it as far as you can possibly get it into the rough, and you can recover with your Amazon. You're going to be out in this, because an Amazon has a lot of distance and a lot of topspin, so you'll be able to recover with it. You'll probably have to take that shot once or twice in order to figure out what to do with your Amazon, because you're going to have like this is how much ball guide you're going to have. Here's the tee box, or here's where you're at on the ground, and here's where it's going to land, and that's all it's going to give you. It's not even going to give you this. So you can do that. I'm not a fan of this, and my opponent proved the point. Like, it doesn't, like, it's just a layup, man. I'm just trying to lay it up right here. It seems like it'd be super easy, and it's not. And then you still got to get through the trees. I like that hole though. I think we got a shot on it. This hole right here, I think one of the problems, okay, what my opponent did, getting way over here against this rough so that they could straighten their shot out and go straight at the hole, as opposed to being out here, and then you're forced to, because of where it comes in, where that second bounce is hitting, you're forced to have to put side spin on it, and it's moving your shot to the right, and it always seems like it's just like you're off. I mean, this is the better way, but when you do this, you are putting this stuff into play. I would still try and keep myself where I was 2 rings of separation off of that transitional surface, 2 rings out from the rough into the fairway. That might be the better way, just because you can go straight at it. But I've always done it from out here. But once again, I'm banging my head up against the wall. So maybe I need to switch and I need to go to something different. Maybe. I might do something different on that hole, because it does seem like I'm always banging my head up against the wall. The thing is you make it just often enough that you feel like, oh, okay, I can keep doing that. But then you're banging your head up against the wall a bunch of times. This hole right here, there's, that shot that I did today was possible only because I had tailwind, and I was able to put some of the wind back in so that I could get into the pocket to get over there. But if you got a headwind day, now you're doing max overpower just to try and get over there, and the wind is blowing really hard. So if you got like a 5-mile-an-hour wind, since it's pretty much pushing against you at like 7.5, so it can lay you up and you can end up clipping the rough and just bleed out. Now you're behind the trees, and this is your shot. It can go south from over here very easily if you don't get up into that spot. The safe way to go is to do this shot over here to put yourself, and then you've got a shot at the cup every time. That is the safe way. But I was trying to have some fun. Hole number 6. Yeah, and that rough bump that I did that's underneath of the tree is definitely dangerous. But if you want to go straight at the cup, if we can get, and I'm going to keep doing that because there is an adjustment in there, but it is super narrow. Like I say, I like to give myself 2 rings against any separation, against any transitional surface. Well, sand is a transitional surface. You're going from the fairway to the sand. That's a transition. You're going from the fairway to the rough. That's a transition. You're going from the rough to the tree. That's a transition. And so trying to get up here to do that rough bump, you're having to pull back so that you're close enough underneath the tree that your ball guide just won't tap the tree. Well, this sand trap curls here. Let me get rid of those lines. Let's see if I can zoom in a little closer. The sand trap goes like this, and it's coming around, and you're right up here on the tip of this, like a half, 3/4 of a ring off of it in order to be in the right spot. You pull back any further, and now the shot won't work. That's the spot. And so anything great to the right, you're in the sand. And I can't believe I hit a 2-ring great on that and didn't clip the tree. But anything to the right, you're definitely going to be in the sand. Definitely. Where you really like to be is up here in the front, because you can push it up in the front, and then you got plenty of room. You're past the sand. But you can't do that because the tree, now you're in the tree. The safe way to do this, if you want to do a rough bump, is to do it on this side. But now I say this because in the past you've had like 3 side spin balls, and then you're caught up in the hill, and then you got to do kind of what my opponent did when they were back here. You're using the hill to bring you back down to the cup. But if you got up into this area right here, if you got maximum distance on the drive, and you could dig yourself as far as you can up here into this corner so that you're straightening out this shot, because if you're down here, now you're having to put more on it because you're facing off in this direction. You could do that rough bump if you got as much distance as you could here and work on this shot and bring out like a 10 side spin ball. And you might be able to get into this area and side spin yourself around so that you're not having to use as much of the hill, and you can go a little bit straighter at the cup. That's probably the way to go at it. And you only need a 3 power ball, or excuse me, a 6 power ball in order to get to the right spot. Somewhere here is the best way to go for Albie on this. You can get lucky and get one this way. I have gotten lucky and got one that way, but that's kind of iffy. Let's see. What's the next hole? We got any gimmies here? Hole number 5. Man, I really like this hole. I like what my opponent... I'm going to explore what my opponent did, but I'm going to bring out a bigger power ball so I don't have to do overpower. Because like you're trying to get... They got their bounce here, and then they got their second bounce all the way over. They didn't use the island. And I kind of like that better than trying to use the island, because, man, if you're trying to really aim towards that island, that is narrow. But that is a shot. I'm going to trick it out. They did it with a 3 power ball and overpower. I want to see what it looks like with a 5 power ball. And you might have to bring out a toss spin boost ball. But if you could set it up where you were out here with a 5 power ball and you had the side spin with that ball to just get your bounces over, even if you were doing your second bounce on the island and you didn't have to do any overpower, man, that might be worth exploring. But you got to remember, OB. And you do have a great shot from where I was at. I just didn't hit it perfect. Great shot. On number 4. I like this par 3. This is the par 3 right here that I think if I'm going to get hole-in-ones this week, this is going to be the one. This is the one I'm really going to work on, because this is definitely, we definitely have a shot. I feel like my game definitely has a shot to get a hole-in-one on that hole. Hole number 3, I like that par 5. And I like it from where I hit it. You got a great straight-up shot at the cup. You don't have to use the hill. Hole number 2 sucks. If I can survive this hole, I'll feel good all week. If I can get a birdie on this hole every time I play it this week, I'll be excited. Because this hole can eat your lunch. And as much as I went for it right there, I really just feel like I should just go out here and really just like try and just stick it right there and take my putt and move along. Like not try and do anything special. Or you could do the rough bump. If the wind's blowing from this direction, I wouldn't pull over that sand. I'm not going to pull over that sand, but you could. In hole number 1, we have a shot. We do. This is a Park to Perry, I don't know. I will tell you that I like it a whole lot more now playing it with the original pin placement than I did when they moved the pins. Because the new pin placement, in my opinion, it blows. A bunch of these holes, I really am not a fan of the new pin placement. Like this hole right here, it doesn't really matter. But some of the holes, the pin placement is just, it's not it kind of ruined the course. The course wasn't necessarily one of my favorite courses to begin with, but after playing the new pin placement, this course is a whole lot more fun than it used to be. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell. Hey, if you watch the video all the way to this point and you're not a subscriber, I mean, come on, give me a break. Leave me a comment, and I will see you next time. Stay safe, my friends. Maybe if I can turn now I see I jacked it up, and now I can't even turn the video off. You're getting bonus content. Look at that. Where's it at? There it is. Can I turn it off now? Maybe. Technical difficulties. Technical.